Is it true that Gary Dicker and Billy Painter are appealing through the PFA against the club fine that you sanctioned after they refused to take part in an extra training session? It was an extra training session that other players had been asked to take part in and did take part in.
Right. Now that I fully understand the question. Probably and this is something I don't like doing, because normally every question that you ask me, I like to answer and give you an honest answer and an upfront answer. But probably because of the sensitivity around this area, because it is an appeal, so probably the best thing for myself to say at the minute is I'd rather not comment on that at this particular juncture due to an internal issue.
But there is an appeal and there is a disciplinary action then.
So your source says?
I do believe that information is pretty good actually. When do you think you might be able to comment further?
Probably Thursday's press conference.
Okay, and are you asking certain players to take part in extra training sessions? What's the situation there if that's the case?
Well, I think I think every player that is not playing on Saturdays and Tuesdays on a regular basis, they need to be conditioned correctly. And obviously then their professional lifestyle, if they're not performing week in, week out, they know that their privileges are going to be different to, not sort of privilege, their training times and their training schedule needs to be different to the players that are going out and actually performing on the cold face, so to speak. So and also the strength and conditioning work that you do with players that are not playing is to replicate some of the work that the other players that are playing and earning their money are doing. So what you need to do is, and then you're trying to get them in the right physical condition and mental condition, so that when they do get their opportunity, they're able to take it with not just go out and perform for 45 minutes or 60 minutes. They need to know that they're up to speed. They can go out and they can go and perform for 90 minutes.
And just finally, with what I understand there about Painter and Dicker, any further thoughts on Billy Painter and talking in front of fans about being fit for 9 weeks when you clearly don't feel he has been available?
Again, I don't want to get caught up in an issue regarding any player. I think I've never put a gag on any player being able to speak to the press, being able to speak to supporters, and speak to myself. Again, we've got the knock-on door policy. Any issues, any concerns that any player has got, me being their line manager, to come and see me. I've got nothing to add. I've got an honest appraisal of what I think, where I think the individual is personally, professionally. And that hasn't changed. Would I put a gagging order on any player speaking to the press? No. I think I've done it. I think Billy was down to be doing the press this morning at a request from you guys to speak to Billy. And again, that was granted by myself and said, yeah, not a problem. Unfortunately, Billy's been caught in traffic commuting to come to work, so he's going to be late for the press conference, probably late for training as well. Which is that shows our intent that I've got nothing to hide, that the club have got nothing to hide, and we're more than willing for you to speak to any player as long as we know which player you're speaking to. And again, that's not to control it. It's just to make sure that the players and yourselves are aware that you're doing it on behalf of the football club, asking the players any questions that you want. I'd never say to any press to say only ask this question or you're not allowed to speak to this player. It's an open house, and which is what we tried to create. I've tried to create. The transparency in what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to bring to the football club.
So I could speak to Gary and Billy then at some point this week?
Yeah, of course you can, but as long as it doesn't interfere with their training.
Okay, thank you.
Or should I say extra training?